Formula Apex is a very well polished game, with very few bugs. It's a great experience enjoyed by many users alike, including myself. I could make a full documentary on how many things I like about this game and why it's so great, including all of its massive features and everything in the game that you can use to maximize your experience. However, in this game, there is a list of features perhaps you should definitely not use, as it could potentially decrease your gaming experience. And in this video, I will show you the top 7 things you should never do in Formula Apex. The first is don't buy Project Apex currency. I'll be honest, £500,000 for 140 Robux is not the worst price in the world, but you can easily get that amount in one race or maybe 10 laps around Hockenheim. It's definitely more worth it to grind in the game and have some fun learning the tracks and become a faster driver to earn money even more faster, rather than just dishing out your hard-earned Robux through buying their currency. Of course, there's nothing wrong with doing so, and if you're rich and for you time is money, then sure, but I would say it's better just to avoid. Number 2 is never sell your Formula Apex cars. I'm going to be very clear with this one, it is not worth it. Upon selling your car, you lose 60% of the car value. This means that if you bought a car for £10 million, upon selling, you will only get £4 million, which is literally less than half of the amount that you bought it for. So if you need money quickly, it's better you just grind on some tracks and maybe do some races, and maybe even go as far as buying some Project Apex pounds through their store. This next tip is for the beginners of Formula Apex, people who are just starting out. Do not buy the 1990s car or any car. Even though the 1990s car is pretty cheap, it doesn't cost that much, it's like £3 or $4 million, it can be quite tempting to buy that car. But trust me, it's not worth it. It's better to save on upgrading your Williams car or maybe any car, like any of the beginning cars that you may be using, and save for a much faster 2023 car, as it will be a lot more worth it for the experience. And when you do end up getting that 2023 Red Bull, it will be a lot more fun to drive. Eventually, when you keep driving that car, you learn each track, you gain experience, and then when you have a lot of money on the side, then that's when it really wouldn't hurt to give the 1990s car a shot. Although it doesn't cost much, it's no simple challenge to drive these beasts. These cars literally lock up if you brake too harshly, have very funny steering, and you can lose control of these cars if they are pushed to their limits. This next tip, also for beginners, if you are new and want to get money fast and efficiently without coming to grips with your skill issues, please avoid these 3 tracks: Zandvoort, Baku, and Turkey. And the reason for this is quite obvious for many players, but maybe not so for the new players. Zandvoort, although it's a fun track and it's one of my personal favorites, it has bumps in practically every corner, and the spinning could be so bad it will send you into a furious rage, causing you to rage quit and never wanting to play this game again. And then Baku is a different story. It's a street circuit, so the walls are very close and it's very easy to tap a wall. And then when you tap the wall, your wheel pops off, the suspension breaks, and then you have to reset your car. You have to do out lap on the hot lap again. And it's not the greatest track to grind for money, even though it pays the most per lap out of the whole game. And even in many leagues, especially my streams, which is not a league, there is always a lot of DNFs. And Turkey, honestly, is just similar to Zandvoort. It has slightly fewer bumps, but it is quite a tricky track to master. The next point for those people with VIP servers: do not enable corner cut slowdowns. To briefly explain, VIP servers have the same system for corner cuts with the 3 warning system. However, there is an additional option to make every single corner, like when you cut them, a slowdown penalty, which can be quite troublesome. The problem is that when you enable it, it will slow down the cars for every single track extension, including in qualifying, where drivers will find it extremely frustrated, as honestly, it doesn't make sense to have it enabled, because what's the point having a slowdown penalty if your lap is invalidated anyways? The next point is got to do with tire wear. When in any mode, whether it's practice mode or race mode, do not use the mediums and hard tires. Although it's true they have a lengthened tire life compared to the softs, they have horrible grip, which is normal, but it just makes them, like, using them, not that worth it. And what's even crazier is that the softs can actually last a while, maybe like 10-15 laps at most. I've seen in many leagues where what the drivers do is when it is in the race, it's mandatory to change the compounds. What they do is they start on the mediums, and then on the first lap they pit straight to the softs, and then in the middle of the race they usually pit again, because obviously the softs aren't gonna last 20 to 30 laps. But that just shows you that in general, for grinding and getting the best laps, it's just better to stick to the softs. And to end the video with a simple one, don't use the chase cam or any like camera angle that isn't either the T-cam or the cockpit cam, because I'll be honest, it's not very easy to see the racing lines when you are in these cameras. I don't know how people use this, and I seriously don't get how they live knowing they use this. But jokes aside, in general, it's better to use the T-cam to get the best of your laps, because you can't set the world record if you can't see where you're going. And that's it for my top 7 list of things you should never do or avoid in Formula Apex. Let me know in the comments whether you agree or disagree with my opinions, or if you got any tips of your own. And until next time, goodbye. If you have enjoyed this video, do make sure to like and subscribe. Consider becoming a YouTube member or sending a super thanks to support the videos. And thank you to Mushy and Rutsal for being Ultimate members.